What's going on, y'all? Welcome to TKC Presents Sicko Mode, most honest AEW reviews. I'm your host, Evan Francis, aka Mr. Gullerwork, aka King Francis, founder of the TKC, your Richmond, California pro wrestling heavyweight champion. You know I'm never here by myself. I'm over here cracking up with my brother right here, the executive advisor of the TKC, producer, director, educator, freaking wrestling savant, Xavier Lascano. What's good, my brother?
Just enjoying a wonderful spring. Like it's already evening.
Sprung,
my goodness,
man.
it's been
crazy,
hot
man.
for the last 2 weeks now.
Yeah, they talking about it's gonna rain next week though.
I believe it when I see
We
it.
didn't have too much fun apparently. We just had some sun. I was in the pool. Not the pool. I've been occupying the pool for like the last 2 weeks, like you said. Just going stupid. Having like a lot of the neighborhood kids around, they parents, just really enjoying stuff. And then they talking about something right next week. I was like, man, I was really like the other day. I was like in one of those like 90s movies vibes. Man, this really feels like spring. And with the little music playing, da, 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 da. Next week it's raining, bitch. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like,
it's like,
man.
you know what they say: April showers bring May flowers. Right?
It ain't even April yet, man.
It will be next week. Right?
Fuck it. This feels like a bad April Fool's joke. It really do. But getting to the point of the matter, the meat of the bones, the whole nine. AEW Dynamite. Now, last week we were saying it wasn't necessarily our favorite show, which was the show after Revolution. What'd you think of this one overall before we dive in?
I gotta say, this one was pretty good, man. I enjoyed all the matches. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a single match where I could be like, man, that was weak.
Yeah.
And the promos were good.
I can say that. It was a pretty good episode. It's most definitely a step up from last week. Because last week was just like, damn, nigga, like we could have done better than this. But then at the same time, we don't know who was banged up. We don't know who could make it, who couldn't. So it was a little lacking in certain areas last week, but I think this week was much better.
Yeah, no, they definitely remembered they had a roster this week. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they were good. There were good story beats last week, like the whole like who attacked Tony. Yeah. Like that was dope as hell.
Yeah.
But no, for sure, this week was a stronger, and this week paid off some seeds that were set from last week.
Facts.
Starting with our opening match, as a matter of fact.
Let's go.
The panel this week, we had Excalibur, we had Taz, we had Tony Schiavone.
I love that.
The boys are back in town.
I love that. I love that trio right there. I love what Bryan Danielson brings to the table, of course.
I do too.
But no, that trio is classic. That's a classic one. So, yeah.
So, Omega, Wrestling Swerve Strickland puts his EV title up for grabs against the number one contendership, going up against MJF in the upcoming pay-per-view Dynasty, right?
Dynasty.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So, I'm not going to, I went into this thinking about how interesting it would be if Swerve got the vice presidential situation going.
Yeah.
A reversal of fortune.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting in that so far, since Kenny Omega has been back, he hasn't really been using the EVP power at all.
Yeah.
Which is a contrast to, the twins, right? When they had their power, they were running amok.
I can see that.
So I definitely think they're gonna run this back at some point, where he's gonna go for the EVP again. Mm-hmm. Will he go for the number one contender? No.
Nah, that's gonna be all.
But I think someone is gonna come for his EVP power because it's already been shown that you can win it in a wrestling match.
Okay.
Okay.
I really did like this match though.
Yeah. No, I thought it was great too.
Yeah. I didn't mean to cut you off though.
All good.
But I enjoyed this a lot. It was pay-per-view quality. You can't tell me nothing about either one of these guys, right? Kenny's been, when he's healthy, well, not even when he's healthy, because he's been banged up, and I think this is probably the healthiest he's been in a while. But when he's on, he's just there's nobody better. You know what I mean?
Not a soul.
And Swerve, I can say, has been one of the constants in AEW, one of the constant highlights of AEW for a long time. So no, I can't be mad at this. I obviously, because Swerve and Nana, we have connections to that camp, because they helped us out in the beginning of our journey as TKC. I have a soft spot, and I most definitely wanted to see Swerve win this one. But I'm not mad at the being what it was, the quality of the match, everything like that. I'm not mad at it. I'm just like, where does Swerve go from here? Like, there has to be something good for him coming. You know what I mean? For Dynasty.
I agree. I don't know what that is.
Me either.
But I have a actually, wait. I had an idea. I don't know who he's going to what match he's going to interfere in, but I'm thinking he runs in, he plays spoiler somehow.
Either that, or I can recall a couple weeks ago he had a conversation with Kevin Knight, and that could be a very worthy match.
Agreed.
At a pay-per-view.
Agreed. That's right. I forgot about that conversation he had with Kevin Knight, and that would be an excellent follow-up to their challenge, essentially. Like, yeah.
So I think that would be dope. But overall, Kenny won this after so many reversals, after so many near falls.
He had 3 or 4 EVP triggers done?
That was crazy.
In that match. He almost hit the Angel's wings twice.
Yeah.
And was unsuccessful doing so.
Yeah. And
that's actually what led me to. I was like, "Shit, Swerve about to win this one."
Yeah, I mean, if Swerve would have won, it would have been valid. You know what I'm saying? For sure. So, but like I said, Kenny won this. Still EVP. Crazy match. I really did enjoy this match. Like I said, it was a pay-per-view quality match.
Oh yeah, easy. They were going all out for this match, and you could tell that Swerve really wanted this.
Yeah. Even the details of him coming out in Kenny's outfit from a few years back or whatnot. Yeah, there was a lot there. So it was most definitely positioned to where Swerve could have won that. But like I said, I'm not mad that Kenny won. I'm just interested in what they got for Swerve.
Agreed.
So what would you rate the match?
I want to give it a 4.3.
Really? I'm a reverse roles with you this week. I'm gonna give it a 4.4. I really did enjoy this match.
I feel it.
Yeah, I really did. Just straight up wrestling match. Just good shit. And both guys look great. And I'm interested in where both of them go. So yeah, they did it for me. All right, let's move on.
The fact that he hit the vertebraker.
Yeah.
And still didn't get the 1, 2, 3. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
What?
No, I thought he got it.
I
jumped out of my seat for that one.
Me too.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, no, that was crazy. But congratulations to both men. Very good match. And yeah, we'll see what's up with Swerve. But what's next?
All right, next up, we have the Death Riders versus Skyflight.
Yeah.
In particular, John Moxley, Marina Shafir, and Daniel Garcia versus Top Flight and Zeta Steel, with Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel, at ringside. And
good to see Top Flight back on national television.
A ditto. And Wheeler Yuta as the sort of managerial role on the outside for the Death Riders.
Yeah.
This match was excellent intergender tag team action.
Yeah, I had fun with this.
I loved to see Steel going at it with Marina Shafir.
Mm-hmm.
There was only one problem I had, and I get it when you're going with the turnbuckle, it's hard, but the Doomsday device setup could have been a little faster.
I saw that.
It's like the only thing that saves it for me is that they've been slowly not even slowly, they had kind of kind of ripped the Band-Aid off and made John Moxley face shortly after winning the belt. And now they're doing a reversal to him being more of a tweener. Mm-hmm. So the only thing that I feel like could have saved it is if the commentators had said, which they didn't, they said, oh, John Moxley's torn because he's thinking about hitting this woman and I don't think he wants to do it, you know? That would have been a way to save that moment of it not just being a screw up. But the commentators didn't think to do it, and I don't blame them because, you know, how do you know it's going to take forever to do? You know, that's you're doing this live, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only point in the match where I'm like, okay, all right, it's going to get a little thing knocked off. But other than that, I thought the match was solid.
Yeah, I really did. I thought it was really good. Obviously, the Death Riders work well together. Top Flight obviously is really good. I haven't seen too much of Zeta Steel, so it was nice to see what she can do. Marina Shafir is always a consistent pleasure to watch. It was good to see her offense too. Yeah, the Death Riders, man, they're an interesting group because it's most definitely they're a tweener group, whereas like some of those guys are just flat out heels, and like a guy like Moxley can function as a face. So I like that because they can kind of blur the line whenever they really want to, right? Depending on the situation.
That's good tension. I think that's good writing because you're not quite sure what you're going to get. You get who everyone in the group is,
Facts.
But you don't know what the group's going to do as a whole, and that's exciting.
And that's what I enjoy about them right now, especially this little dynamic. A lot of people kind of were anxious to see them kind of break up and or kick Moxley out or do whatever. I'm not too much in a rush for it now. I'm at a place with them right now that if they continue this for another month or two, whatever, cool. Just keep it consistent, keep the matches good, and let's keep a clear direction.
And like, you know, to throw a bone to the writers and the bookers of this storyline, a lot of times that's how real friend groups are, where you have somebody who is maybe super kind or whatever, you know what I mean, super like mellow good nature. Then you have somebody else who's a little rowdy, who's like, nah, fuck everybody, fuck you too. And then you got somebody who's kind of in the middle, you know, and like, but they all really care about each other. They just treat the world a little bit differently.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
You know, and I'm like, that's real as fuck right there.
Yeah, no, I like what they're doing. After the match, Moxley kind of he gets on the mic and he's basically telling Ospreay like, "Hey, man, your mouth gonna get you in trouble. I get that you want, you know, a grudge match, this, that, and the other,
and you can have it.
You can have it, but watch your mouth. You know what I mean?" And I totally identify with that. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm totally with that attitude and vibe right there.
And you know what? I really like. It shows the character progression of Moxley. Mm. And what I think is interesting is that you have Ospreay, who's operating off of his past experiences with Moxley, unable to let it go.
Yeah.
He is in the right for being angry because the Death Riders pulled so much shit. But here we got John Moxley, who's kind of a changed man in some regards. Yeah. The old Moxley wouldn't have even said, watch your mouth. The old Moxley would have just came for him the next week on Dynamite with no warning and beat the fuck out of him and then said, yeah, I'll wrestle you. Yeah. Or maybe said, no, I don't want to wrestle you. I'm just going to like beat you up and leave you in the hospital. Like,
I agree with that. That does show, that's something I didn't even really think about. That's why you're a valuable part of this, brother. Because I didn't even think about that one. That's very true that showed a lot of character progression on John Moxley's part. Because he's not the same guy he was last year, right?
These writers are doing their thing, man.
That was actually a really good nuance right there. And then, so my question to you is this: regardless of who wins, and I would assume Ospreay wins this, I don't know if it's for the Continental Championship yet, but at the end of this, do you see them shaking hands at the end of this match? Given that Moxley is more of a changed man, he's done it with Takeshita, he's done it with a lot of guys. Do we see them bury the hatchet at the end of this match?
It depends on how the match goes.
It's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be a knockdown, drag out fight. Let's not pretend.
The thing that I want to see is there has to be a moment, and if it's not going to be for the Continental, right? If it's just going to be a grudge match, it's not going to be for the belt. There has to be a moment where Wheeler Yuta or somebody comes out, or Garcia comes out, tries to interfere on like Moxley's behalf. And Moxley has to put the hand up like, no. If he wards them off because he wants it a fair square, some shit like that, win or lose, that's what's going to get the handshake. Ospreay has to see it. You know, something like that happens in the ring, hell yes. It's a toss-up if they don't do something like that.
I think it's going to be I don't know a Moxley match where he don't bleed, really. You know what? Let me take that back. The last few have actually been blood-free, right? Like, they've actually been straight-up matches.
Being that it's a pay-per-view, it's probably going to be more blood than not.
Somebody going to bleed.
Yeah.
But I do think that at the end of this, even if that happens, I do think there's a possibility for it. Because I do think, like what you said, just given the character progression of Moxley, I think, you know, maybe you want to put it behind him, win or lose.
Yeah.
You know, and
he'll be the one to extend the hand
out. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe, or maybe not, that might be the catalyst to split them up. But maybe they don't. Maybe they don't.
Maybe they just more interesting.
Yeah, maybe they just keep going as the Death Riders, and that's okay too.
I think that'd be fascinating.
Yeah,
because I think it's a fascinating experiment if they do a long-term run where this is the makeup of the group.
Yeah, I would be fine with it. Because
John's just a sportsman. He's the sportsman in the crew. Like,
that's the thing about it, right? Is like most of the time we're used to certain things in wrestling. We're used to certain storylines, certain tropes, certain things like that. So then when things, especially I feel like in this generation right now, like it's instant gratification most of the time. So a lot of people don't want to see something play out. They don't want to see something. This is one of those things where I'm totally actually getting comfortable, because at first I was in the party of, oh, maybe they need to do something, right? Now I'm kind of like,
they need to do something now.
But now I'm looking at it like, no, I like this. And if they keep it consistent and keep it good, I could go with this for a second. I'm not necessarily in a rush.
Same here, brother. Same here. Like, they're gonna do. I think they're gonna do really good things with this.
So credit to AEW for doing that, for that kind of, like you said earlier, for the writing and all that, because there's some nuance here that's really dope, and that's what I always aim for with us, right? Is to be able to operate outside of boxes and parameters and shit. Because if we just do the same shit every time, what makes us different? What sets us apart? What makes us bigger? You know, so I totally get it, and I'm aligned with that. So shout out to them. So rating for this,
I'm gonna give it a 4.2.
I'll agree with that. That's a 4.2. Sure. Good match. Good stuff. Everybody got their shit off. Always, like I said, always good to see Top Flight on my TV on Dynamite. And yeah, they always have a good show. Maybe I feel like this year we should see more Top Flight. We should see more Private Party. There's more just certain tag teams and certain things and certain acts we need to see more of.
Exactly. It's like you have a division, put the division to work.
Yeah, straight up. It's not like you don't have the guys, right? Like, and even building young with these guys, just keep them consistently going on TV and shit will work. There's no reason that you can't have a Top Flight Private Party feud.
That's true.
Let these guys cook. Let them dazzle the audience. This ain't WWE. This is AEW, where they actually appreciate really good wrestling. So they could get themselves over it. Just give them a chance. All right, what's next?
All right. And for the record, it would have been higher if it weren't for the Doomsday Device pause.
Yeah, that's fair.
Next up, after that wonderful match, we have Mike Bailey versus Rocky Romero. Let's see.
This was quick. This wasn't like the longest match.
Yeah.
This was more of a showcase for Speedball than anything. With some offense for Rocky, so it wasn't like it was totally a squash or anything, but it was a quick one.
I did appreciate Rocky Romero taunting him early on with the fake like Taekwondo kicks and stuff. That was a nice touch.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, it was not a squash.
But it was quick.
But it was quick.
Yeah. And sometimes that's how fights be.
Yeah, and that's
why I'm not mad about it, because it didn't come off like Rocky wasn't shit.
Yeah.
You know? So.
There was definitely defense on Rocky's behalf and some solid offense.
Yeah.
He just wasn't enough to go the distance or pull it off. So,
and Mike Bailey hitting the ultimate weapon. I will give credit to Rocky, because as a wrestler, I noticed Speedball had missed a good partial part of that, and Rocky sold that shit like he didn't. But there was enough that got there to where it all worked out.
Yeah.
To where it was like, okay, boom.
And the funny thing is, when I was watching the angle they show on screen, I couldn't tell whether or not his knees actually landed.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm wondering if I saw it from a different angle, how off was that? Because I could kind of get the sense he was off. Mm-hmm. But I was like, did you hit his body at all? But when Rocky sold it,
his knees clipped him. So it was off, but you know how it really looks. So it was off, but Rocky sold it enough, and enough contact did happen to where it was okay. So I was like, all right, I'll roll with that. But, just being somebody who pays attention to the little things, it's like, okay, I noticed it, but it's something that shit happens. It was very well covered up. Cool.
Yeah. Professionals. You had professionals in the ring.
Yeah, so that was that. What would you rate the match?
I give it... You know what? I want to encourage matches like this where they really show off the other person's strength and ability without squashing the other guy. Because which is different than just a straight up squash. So I'm going to reward this with a 3.9. 3.8.
Okay, no, that's cool, because like I said, it was short. It wasn't too much to it, but it was enough.
Yeah.
To where both guys looked good. Rocky looked like a formidable guy. He just got caught. You got caught with a couple of them kicks, and boom. You know what I'm saying? It could have happened to anybody. I'll give this a 3.8. Yeah, I'm with that. That.
Appreciated it. Let's see.
Yeah,
so far, we haven't got any 3.2s.
No, there ain't nothing super low yet. No, this has been a pretty good show.
So unlike that other show we reviewed a few episodes ago, where we were like, what?
I don't know about this shit
going on.
Yeah.
All right. So, oh my goodness, MJF comes out to the ring.
Okay.
To brag about his victory against Hangman Page.
Yeah.
Says, yeah, no, and he can never, ever, 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 ever. He does like 15 times.
Yeah.
He circles the ring to get the point home. Challenge for the world title again.
Yeah.
I see why this man goes by the name of the devil.
Yeah, and he had mentioned that at the end of his promo. He had doubled up on his catchphrases, did all that. And I like MJF with this kind of swagger. Like,
I do too.
And he's the right choice, I feel like, to be AEW champion right this second. I think that he's the guy right now. Rightfully so. And then that brings out his opponent.
Oh,
Kenny Omega, who is the rightful number one contender. And we get some clarity here. Kenny Omega basically is going over his past, nicknames, the nicknames bestowed upon him, the cleaner, best bout machine. People have called him the god of pro wrestling before, and that's where he kind of dug in at. Is basically, I've never really called myself a god, but you have the nerve to call yourself the devil, so I think maybe it takes a god to
be the devil.
Mm-hmm. And I like that, and I liked how Kenny kind of, explained everything and kind of just sold the match. No, this was good. This was good stuff. MJF, like I said, with his swagger, you can tell he respects Kenny, but he don't sweat him.
Yep.
And I feel like he's already planning how to fuck him over in this
Pretty
match.
much.
You feel me? But he did accept the match at Dynasty, so we know what our main event is, right?
He's gonna focus on that abdomen, the diverticulitis. That he's
of course, that's gonna be a thing.
Yeah, lower back, abdomen. He's gonna be all over that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he attacked him before.
Oh yeah,
before the pay-per-view.
Yeah, totally. He's going to be spitting up blood right before the match.
Yeah.
If MJF has anything to say about
this is going to be but to tell you the truth, this is going to be a crazy match. I already know it's going to be great. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be very good. And I thought this was a very good segment to kind of make everything official, cement everything. We know what our main event is. We know where we're going. Boom.
Hell yes.
Painless to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, he leaves, he does the good night bang, he's like, peace out.
And we're done.
And we're done.
It's nothing that I could really nitpick in this.
Next up, after that, we see Adam Copeland and Christian Cage having a conversation about, basically having their promo where they're talking to Renee Paquette about their return to AEW because they've been off air for a while. Their vengeance quest against FTR and Adam, and then like Christian leads it off and he's like, "Yeah, we beat you, but then after we beat you, you jumped us basically, and then you pile drived, my friend's wife over here. It's heinous, terrible, and worst of all, you put your hands on me." Like, and then he walks away.
That's how he feels.
And then like Edge is like, "What an asshole!" Like,
I feel him though. Don't you dare. That's what I'm thinking about the most.
Like I love this that they're the way they're playing the, and honestly, this is kind of I imagine when they went back and they were talking about reuniting them before this first happened and how the story was gonna go.
Right.
In my head, they went, well, when we were tag teaming in the E years ago, Edge is like, I was always the more likable one of the two, and he was always jealous and envious. So what do those characters look like now that they're like even older? And so the jealous, envious guy who was willing to split the tag team up and join the WCW, ECW alliance, of course his version of redemption is like, and the worst thing is they attack me, because his response to feeling like he was always second fiddle is like grown into almost overgrown narcissism. It works. In long-term storytelling, if that's what they're doing, thumbs up to that, because God, that's...
So gave him a whole psychoanalysis.
Just the character progression there and how he got worse, I'm like, no, that... When he said that, I was like, oh, sure. Yeah, that's full circle right there. That's how someone would be 30, 20 years down the line.
Like, simple to the point. We know where we're going. We know what we're getting. Let's get to it.
Yep. So, yeah. And he leaves, and Adam Copeland basically goes, look, man, like, Dax, like, I fed you. It reminds me of that, what was it, Beanie Siegel when he dissed State Property. He's like, I fed and I birthed you niggas. Quick as that, I will earth you niggas. Like, because they didn't visit him when he was in jail or whatever. It was like 04, 05, somewhere around there. But anywho, like, he basically gives out that speech where he's like, we were friends. Your children played with my children. Like, you've eaten my wife's cooking. What the fuck? Why would you throw all that shit away? That makes no sense. Like, and they leave. And then FTR comes out with Stoke. And they have their rebuttal. And Dax is like, yes, you helped me out, but I don't need you anymore. I don't need your wife's cooking. I got my crew now. Y'all are a nostalgia act. And then like his partner's just like, yeah, man, like, I love your wife. And I pile drive your wife. Imagine what I would do to you. Yeah. Fuck, man. Like, yeah.
And things broke down even further. That was a solid promo, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Things break down even further as we get into our next match, which is Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong in the conglomeration versus
the Dogs.
And so before the match, Orange Cassidy is coming out. They kind of sort of interrupted FTR's exit, and they apparently FTR didn't appreciate it. Stoke bumps into Orange, and Orange just like
gives him the
slowest,
softest push like
ever. And then that
because he does, it's like whatever.
I think Dax puts the shit out of Orange then, and then that leads to a little scuffle.
Roderick Strong comes and starts whooping ass.
Yeah, and so we might see something with those guys later.
Oh hell cool. Yeah, I would love that.
I wouldn't be mad at that at all. But then this brings us to the Dogs versus Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong. My brother, take it away.
I gotta say, this match is it was a lot of fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I kept expecting the third dog to just come out of nowhere and do something.
Who, Gabe?
Yeah. You know, like
he's still recovering from the damn coffin match.
And kudos to AEW for like not bringing him out because he got fucked up.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
That's smart. Yeah,
I like that.
That's smart. It would be so weird if he just came back the next week, interfere. Oh my God, and he's come with it. No. Give that guy time off.
Yeah. Which
allowed Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong to have basically have a fair one.
Fair one.
And it turned out as it should have turned out, in my personal opinion.
I agree.
Like Roderick Strong, I've always been a fan of, like, ever since I discovered the Thai knee, you know, out of like kickboxing and what have you. And I like Roderick's use of the knee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
he's been doing that forever. Yeah.
Hit you in the face with it, hit you in the, you know, and the backbreakers that he likes to employ, and
the messiah of the backbreaker.
Oh yeah, I just, you know, I love a good technical wrestler.
Yeah.
And a grounded guy, and he's definitely that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He definitely falls into like some of my favorite. And like Orange Cassidy is always so much fucking fun to watch. Like, you know what I mean? Like that. I finally figured out, because I was trying to figure out for years. I was like, man, I've been saying for some time, like he's like a WWE throwback, but I couldn't think of what exactly inspired. And then it hit me while watching, like he would have been the perfect addition to Too Cool as like a fourth member.
I would not have put him there.
I'm not saying that's the only thing they could have done with it, but I was like, oh shit, actually, like, you know,
I don't see that vision.
You know,
I feel you.
Like it could have been a thing where he always comes out to his own music, but like, I don't know. I feel
like it could have been his own thing.
Yeah, agree.
I feel like, you know, I can see what you're saying, but I don't think it would have went over. You gonna get that nigga fired. But like, but and that was the Vince era back then. Nah, nigga, that wouldn't have worked out at all.
Yeah,
like that probably it might have made more sense in the TKO era. That shit is not. Vince would have fired that nigga so quick, but then as soon as he did them kicks. As soon as he did them kicks, it's over. But that's why AEW is so dope, though, because like it just works here, because it's like not only is it a dope character and a dope like gimmick, but he can wrestle. He can wrestle really well. Really, really, really well. He's great.
Yeah, he's one of the best.
Like I will absolutely agree with that. He's one of the best in AEW. He don't get enough of his flowers on that one. For real. I will say he's one of the best they got. But how did we end this match with the winners?
Oh yes. Well, we had our heroic team come out on top.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
And it was earned. After weeks of being thwarted by the dogs were finally put in a place where they had to shoot them a fair one, and they lost.
And I think this is why I say we are probably going to get that conglomeration FTR match. Probably before Dynasty, because we got a few weeks, I think, before Dynasty. I can see them getting the title shot.
Oh, hell yeah.
And this kind of carrying over. You know what I mean? I can see it happening.
I'm with you.
What would you rate the match?
You know, I'm gonna give this a 4.4.
Yeah, I like the dogs a lot. And I like that spear suplex combination. That shit is sick.
Shit is beast.
Yeah, that shit is beast mode. I like how they operate. Good stuff. They're not hurt by this loss, I don't feel like.
No.
Yeah, 4.4.
All right, moving forward. Megan Bayne and Lena Cross have some promotional bits where they talk about how they're going to come for the Harley Cameron and Willow are wanting to get the titles back, and they're like, that's not going to happen.
That's not happening. Yep.
Harley, you should stick to playing with your dolls. That's what you're good at. That's what they said to her, right?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Brutal.
We said this though, you know, like Harley's going to be singled out in this.
Yep.
Because I mean, Willow can I feel like, compete power wise with the other ladies, Lena Cross and Megan Bain. I do not see that for Harley, right? She's gonna have to
work hard to prove herself.
In this
she's
one,
gonna have to be super creative.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna win this one.
No. I don't feel that
and
way.
And this might sadly be the end of the Babes of Wrath. I hate to say it.
You think so?
Well, I think, because here's the thing.
That's interesting.
I really do. We've been talking about how, like, eventually Willow's going to go off and get that women's world belt.
So you think this will be the start of it?
It may not be right now, but I can sense the whole, like, Harlot's been holding me back this whole time.
I don't want them to go that route. I do want to see them.
I don't want it. But I can see how they could push for that.
Just my personal opinion, I feel like I think the ladies got legs. I think the actors got legs for a couple months.
I like them as a team.
I do
love them as a team. They're fun. But Harley, you could team Harley with almost anybody and it would work, I think. It would work. Because her comedy balances out a lot of the more serious women on the roster.
Yeah.
But Willow has got so much. I mean, right now she's good because she's got the TBS belt. Mm-hmm. So that's fine. But Willow just screams. My advice would be, put Harley if you're going to end this tag team, which I really enjoy. I really like the Babes of Wrath. I wouldn't be mad if they did a thing similar to what they might do with Speedball and Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight with Jet Speed, where they're always going to be Jet Speed, even though they're going to run off and do their own shit, right? Mm-hmm. And I would love that for this team, especially since they are the first women to win the AEW tag team belts. I really do feel like if you're the first tag team to win it, then it is your obligation to stay together as a tag team for like at least 4 years. You know what I mean? At least.
Yeah.
I feel like it would look super weak if, like, the first ever champions were to split within a year. But I kind of feel like that may be what they're thinking of doing with it. For some reason, I just have this sneaking suspicion.
I want to once again reference what we were talking about with the Death Riders earlier, that they can think outside the box in certain ways to where those two can remain friends and not necessarily tag every week.
Yeah.
So when Willow does get that big win, they have that moment of hugging in the ring and Harley. I think there's bigger things than just turning somebody heel on somebody or just like having them feud or whatever. I think
Agreed.
I think that they're, especially when we think about AEW's writing, which we were just complimenting, I think that there's more meat to the bone that we can get. Especially with they don't necessarily have to be a tag team, but I do like the combination.
Agreed. Like Lex Luger and Sting are longtime allies. And there are times where they were like tag teaming, and there are times when they weren't, but they were still friends.
They were still allies. Yeah, so, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe at some point down the road, especially after they maybe don't get the job done a couple times, maybe they just amicably don't tag on every single week, but they still tag every now and again, and they're still cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I would like that too.
Yeah, I can see that.
Good.
All right.
Moving forward, Kyle Fletcher, proud of his recent title defenses, but he wants the world title. He continues to express like disdain at the very idea that they're working with MJF, which I find so awesome. It's like you have a heel champion who's so heel the other heels can't stand him.
Yeah.
Most of the other heels are like,
fuck this guy.
Hey, you're cool, but fuck that guy though. Like he's the worst. Like that just there's some nuance I love, Just goes to show you how toxic MJF is.
I agree with that. But that's the strength of his character though. And then after that we get Takeshita coming in. They're talking.
And he was like, remember before it was Procada, it was Procasta. Yeah, and he's like, Procasta? Yeah, Procasta.
So they're reaffirming their alliance. No problem with that.
Oh, yeah.
It's going because that's going to go somewhere. So no problem with that.
I agree. I and this goes back to the strong writing at AEW. Just like they're reaching back into the it's like, oh, remember, and then it's still it's like, I may never be cool with Okada, but you and I we go back.
We go back.
So after that heartwarming segment, we get Mina Shirakawa versus Thekla.
This was fun.
This is Thekla the
This
Spider.
was very good.
This was like, this could be best match of the night.
This could be.
This is a contender in my opinion.
This is a contender.
Like this.
Them and Megan Swerve. This was really good. This was that. I ain't got nothing bad to say about this match.
No, nothing at all.
Both ladies got their shit off. Mina looked really good here. Brought out a little more aggression on that side, because Thekla, I feel like, brings that out.
Yes.
There's a certain intensity that was there. I haven't seen Mina like that since she came from Japan.
And then, like, the story they're telling, which is, we want you to think, at least, that Mina thinks that Thekla had something to do with the attack on Tony.
Obviously she didn't, though.
Obviously she didn't.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to think that Mina thinks. And Mina's wrestling like she thinks that her best friend and wife-to-be has been assaulted by... And so when they eventually reveal that it was Mina Shirakawa all along, we're like, oh my god, he was just so believable with the viciousness. And she's like, you thought I was angry because of what happened to my best friend, when in reality I was just being a heel. I was wrestling like a damn heel. No, but this was great. Like, you have Thekla hitting the spider at the right moment, right?
Yeah.
You had Mina working on the legs with her technical prowess. The fucking brass knuckle reveal.
Yeah.
When she pulled that out, the referee was like, "She's toxic. She's toxic." I'm like, there you go.
There you go.
That's.
No, this was great. I have no real complaints. Shit, man. We can run this back like in a few months when I feel like Tekla's in more of jeopardy. That's my only thing about this, is I kind of felt like, and that might be the only thing that I might put the Omega Swerve match over this one for, is because I don't feel like Tekla was in danger here. Like, there was a thing with Swerve and Kenny where there was a point you didn't know who was going to win. Mm-hmm. I don't see Tekla being in danger of losing right this second. But Mina showed up. They both did. This was a great match. Winner's Tekla, though. Like I said, we can run this back. But would you go ahead and rate it?
Let's see. I gave Omega and Swerve. What was that, a 4.3?
I think, and I gave it a 4.4.
I'm gonna give this one. Oh man, I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna give it the same, just to be fair, and just because they were both great matches. They could, I'm gonna give this a 4.3 as well.
I'm gonna give it a 4.3. Like I said, I think the only difference being that I give the other point over is that there was just a little more jeopardy in the Omega Swerve match to me. Yeah. But beyond that, quality wise,
this was good.
This was equal. 4.3 for me. 4.3 for me. All right, what's next?
The main event, Darby Allin
versus Roosh.
I gotta say, Darby didn't pull no punches in this matchup. Like, he literally left it all on the floor, including his own blood.
Yeah. Roosh was hitting the shit out of him in this match. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Roosh was hitting the shit out of him in this one. And this was a good... That's what I like about Darby, is like, you're going to get your shit in with him.
Yep.
Right? So you're going to look good. You're going to have a chance to look strong. And Roosh took that opportunity and he laid some shit in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Darby really, as much as he could dish out, he could definitely take it.
Yeah. Fun match.
Yeah.
And it was fun enough to where I'm not complaining about this being the main event.
Agreed.
Because I could have easily went for Swerve and Omega being the main event, or even Tekla and Mina. That those both could have made sense as main event. But that shows the strength of the show, right? All these fucking matches are main event worthy. So
it's like, even though the stakes were a bit lower than, the Mina Shirakawa match, because it was for like the women's belt, or like fighting for the EVP powers, the stakes were still honorable enough to have a great match over. And it's like, yeah, I mean, would it have been better if it were lower in the card? Would it have made more sense? Sure. This could have easily have been the opener, to be honest with you.
It could have been,
and it still would have been just as good.
It would have been, yeah,
as anything else that came like after it.
And that's why I'm kind of not mad at it being the main event, right? It's like the quality was there, even the ending angle was there. So I'm not complaining, right?
Yeah,
so it's not like it wasn't a worthy main event or nothing, but it was on a show where there were just big matches, and those also would have made sense as main events. But overall, I thought this was great for Darby. I thought this, like, it showed how tough he is and how far he's willing to go. It showed Roosh in a great spotlight in the main event of Dynamite, and he put the work in. He most definitely was smacking the fuck out of Darby with some chops and shit, bro. I was like, damn, them niggas got heat. But Roosh had heat for his ass, for sure. But what would you rate the match? Darby won. We'll get to the Callis shit. Well, we can get to the Callis shit now and then rate the match.
Oh, for sure.
So after Darby is celebrating winning the match, we get an attack.
Oh, yeah. Here comes none other than Davis himself.
Yep.
Pile driving Darby Allin on the ramp.
Yep.
Surrounded by foes. Darby's then thrown back into the ring to get choke slammed.
Yep. Lance Archer.
Oh my God. Brutally beaten.
Yep.
And I remember going, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, since when does the Don Callis family have it out for Darby? Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
if you remember last week, right?
Oh, MJF wanted him taken care of.
And that's why Andrade was kind of complaining to Don Callis.
Like, why are we doing this?
I want to fight MJF. I don't want to do this shit.
Yeah, he's like, what? And then he's like, no, just roll with it. He'll owe us a favor. It's fine. That's kind of where I see this heading. Is like, maybe it's like, well, we did all this work for you, MJF. Maybe you give one of my guys a title shot.
Yeah. It's going to have to do something. There's going to have to be some kickback besides the money, I feel like. Because there's too many guys in that group that don't like him.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to have to cash in on that.
Yeah, Don is not about to have him join a group where everyone else hates him.
They hate his fucking
world
guts.
champion or not,
Yeah.
He'd rather have one of them take it from you, you know.
This also puts Darby kind of firmly in the title picture because we know MJF's the one who put this all in motion.
Yep.
So that's why I'm not really complaining about it. Good shit all around. So now,
good shit.
What would you rate the match?
Ooh, okay. I'm going to give it... I'm also going to give this one a 4.3. No. 4.4. The man bled. Fuck, he bled. That man had color. And if we're going to add in... Are we adding in the after effects?
You can. Yeah, right. We did it for everything else. Yeah,
fuck it. Well, why not? 4.5 then. That shit was like... No, I mean, that pushed the story further. That put the Don Callis family in the spotlight.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
How about you?
I'm thinking. Match was really good. Like I said, it gave a good spotlight to Roosh. Puts Darby firmly in the title picture. You got some dissension in the family. Well, just seeds for it.
Mm-hmm.
Different people with different ambitions. MJF could be the start of some dissension within the family.
Mm-hmm.
4.4. 4.4.
For sure.
Yeah, this was good. So Yeah, good, really good show. So overall, what would you do for the show overall?
Man, I give the show an overall. I give it a 4.4.
All right, all right. I'll go ahead and second that. I thought this was a really solid show. Um, Once again, wasn't my favorite of the year. No, but at the same time, was this a bad show? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. A big step up from last week. And yeah, that's all we can go. That's all we can say from here. We're a few weeks from Dynasty. A lot of good things happening. I know we got the contract signing next week for the world title match between MJF and Kenny Omega. And, you know, a lot of big things coming up. We're going to get a clear picture for what Dynasty's going to be like. You know what I mean? We already know we got the tag team titles online, a few other things. But it's going to start fleshing out. All right. Go ahead and plug yourself. Let them know what to look for.
Joaquin_Xavier, or you can also check out Unhealthy Comedian, which is co-shot by me and Evan. And also we have starring roles in there. Also, that we collaborated on writing the sketches for it.
IMDb credits, baby.
You can check out this show every week. Sicko Modes. Yep. On the TKC YouTube channel. Also, fresh matches are being uploaded and classics all the time on the channel now. So please check that out.
Promos, all that good stuff. You got a whole timeline for the whole existence of the group and everything from the beginning to now. Obviously, all that stuff's getting fleshed out as we go. Like you said, classic matches, new stuff, new promos, everything, bro. Like, get your fix, man, and also get to know every member, every section, every region, because we taking over, man. It's going down. Beyond that, for me, Go to Work Fitness on YouTube, Go to Work Fitness on Instagram, TKC Wrestling on Instagram, the TKC YouTube channel, as my brother plugged, Unhealthy Comedian, Amazon Tubiplex, but Amazon's where we get them residuals. Gotta keep that going. Big things this weekend. Shout out to AWF, the Arizona Wrestling Federation. Cash Cartier defending the Arizona State title against Chaos. SOS in action against the Cruz Lacey Lane of AEW. That's gonna be big for us. That's gonna be humongous for her. So congratulations to SOS. Sponsored and brought to you by the TKC, literally sponsoring the match and SOSR member. So it's going down. Ozzy Gates in action. San Diego, man. G4's in action with a battle royal. Our brother Terry Adonis is gonna be down there putting it down for us in New York, representing TKC. Shoot, man. We got Alpha versus TJ Black, 2 TKC members versus each other for the first time. That's going down to Vallejo. It's gonna be a movie. It's gonna be a movie. All in the same night. Northern California, Southern California, Arizona, New York.
I almost want to call that a TKC special. The iron sharpens iron, man.
Yeah. I'll give you that. But yeah, no, this is basically March 28th going to be TKC Day. We also got new designs coming up for shirts, all that stuff. TKC4L will be the thing. Next week, we'll go ahead and share that out. Matter of fact, I think since I'm basically declaring March 28th this Saturday TKC Day, we might as well just reveal it then, that day, the design and all that. And then after that, the shirts will be available on Pro Wrestling Tees the following week.
Hell yeah.
So get with us, man. Tap in, stay with us. You already know we're going to be here next week for you because Dynamite is looking like it's going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like as the closer we get to Dynasty, the harder the harder things will get. Beyond that, though, you already know what's going on Saturday, TKC Day. You already know to check out the YouTube channel and stay up with us. But until you find out the results, until next week, until we come back, all you need to know is this TKC4L for life. And whether it's New York, whether it's Arizona, whether it's Philadelphia, Toronto, whether it's Northern or Southern California, one fact still remains the same. And that's these kings
wear crowns over here.
See you next week. TKC for life, baby.